Welcome to Momivate Momversations on Win-Win Women, where we gather to care, connect, and collaborate. Truly a win-win for us all. I'm your hostess, Reagan Barnes, mom of 8 and founder of the nonprofit organization Momivate. And we empower you to elevate your mothering experience. Joining us today is Lisa Stott, a certified financial planner, and you, Mom, you are joining us. And we are so glad to have Lisa and you too. We welcome you into the Momivate community, or Momunity, as we like to say. We are moms united in our passion to create a better world. Join us and become a Momunity member. It's free on our website, Momivate.org. Together, we'll constructively evolve motherhood into the 21st century and meet the needs of our children while elevating our mothering experiences. Here at Momivate, we answer the question, what do moms do, with this uplifting statement? Moms raise up society. That's right, not just our own kids, but all of society, including ourselves. This acronym is jam-packed with the far-reaching impact of intentional mothers who strive to improve and progress in these areas of motherhood. We're not just chauffeurs and short-order cooks. As we take on the repetitive, loving work that shapes our children, it shapes us too. And it makes an impact that goes beyond our homes, because as moms, we are uniquely positioned to influence society one-on-one. Today, with our special guest, Lisa, we're going to focus in on the income and outgo category of the Raise Up acronym, and even get more narrow to talk about our mindset when it comes to money. Lisa has titled her presentation, and we're going to ask ourselves this question: is the glass half empty, or is the glass half full? So I want to welcome you again, Lisa. I'm so glad that you're here with us, and that we get to enjoy your input. And I wanted to give a little more information about, let's see, who you are. And like, I know you were born in Houston, and but mostly raised here in Utah. You got your education at University of Utah, and that you run marathons. How cool is that? Yes. I would say that's a practice in endurance, you know, just like motherhood. You and your husband, Matt, live in Syracuse, and you have 2 children. Is that right?
Correct.
And you shared one of your favorite quotes with us by Mel Robbins. Do you know that quote by heart?
Yep, it's okay to struggle. It's not okay to give up, right?
There you go. There you go. I think that's an important concept for all of us, and not, you know, I mean, it's applicable to every aspect of life, motherhood, finances, everything. So, yeah, so let's go ahead, and if you have more you'd like to share about yourself, you're
Yes, Reagan, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity to come and present today to all the wonderful moms, and what a great weekend that I get to present. It's Mother's Day weekend, so happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. I appreciate all you do. I've been a mom on both sides of the court, a work at home mom and a work outside the home mom. And whenever I work with participants and those that I deal with on a daily basis, I always like to say, do you work inside the home or outside the home? Because I can guarantee you, being, like I said, on both sides, working inside the home is way harder than working outside the home on all levels, right? On what you do. And I feel that this quote is very symbolic to everyone, whether it's a mom, and it's an employee outside the home. We all struggle, and in life, we have our ups and downs, but we should never quit and never give up. Like Reagan said, I'm a mom of two, and they are both married, and a grandma of a 1-year-old, which is just fabulous. Love every minute of that. And Reagan, I don't know how you do it with 8. Heavenly Father said, you can only do man to man. You are not going zone. So he only blessed me with 2. And he's like, no, you can't handle more than that. So anyone who does go to zone like you did, Reagan, my hats are off to you. Well done.
I like to admit that I had a lot of help. My mom moved in when my twins were born. And so I just have to give credit where credit is due. So
absolutely. So today we're going to talk a little bit about the giving side of finances and life in general. When we think of a mom, all you do on a daily basis is give, give, give. And sometimes you forget to return. But we want to look at some of the benefits of giving, both financially, spiritually, physically, and with our talents and service. A lot of times we can say, you don't need a doctor telling you it feels good to give. Anyone has given time or money or other resources probably already knows this from experience. But there is research to show that the science behind a helper's high and the long-term physical and psychological benefits that may follow with service. Why does giving feel so good? If we think of Christmas time, and that's the most time that people think of giving, but all times of the year it's important to give and be in that mindset. One study on charitable donations, which researchers performed an MRI on the mind. And when they did this MRI on those who gave, there were, they call it mesolimbic system, which is the system that lights up. It's your pleasure system. It's the things that gives you that high. And so does food or caffeine or all of those other things. But giving is one of those things that lit up in that MRI when people did give. It's, the part of the brain that is reward and happiness. And there's all kinds of growing research on the quality of life that we have, including health benefits when we give. One is we have greater self-esteem. When we look at life as a whole, we are truly blessed. We call it sometimes when I say my hot water ran out or, my car didn't start, we call this a first world problem because there are people all over the world that is not as blessed in that aspect as I. And so I have to think of no matter what circumstances are happening during the day, I have to realize it's a blessed life. And there's a lot of research on focusing on volunteering and organizations. A lot of the organizations that the research has done is mainly on larger like churches than it is individual, but they are showing that helping leads to greater satisfaction and sense of purpose. It gives us just the blessing of helping others and knowing that we're all in this together. Well, another one would be to lower the risk of depression. And because of maybe such positive feelings when you do give, it decreases your risk of depression and symptoms of sadness and lack of energy, and moms feel this all day long. The one thing that we need to realize as a mom and anyone in general, know your limits, know when to stop giving and you need to fill your own bucket. And that's the hard balance for a mom because like I said at the beginning, all you do is give, give, give. And a lot of times it feels like, oh, I can't give anymore. So I've got to find that balance. One study that I also had of older adults found that when they help their loved ones, and I am experiencing this myself as a grandma, you get this greater feeling of personal control over their lives and feeling that you're helping them. And it just helps lighten my day when I'm able to help my children and even my little grandbaby when I'm asked to babysit or be with or care for. It's just a great feeling. Another study that they have found is when someone loses a spouse, Those that are able to give in any aspect, whether it's transportation, helping with chores, their ability to pull themselves out of that grief and out of that sadness is increasing versus just being by themselves and in their own little world. We also have better physical health. Depression and lack of esteem, and I think this is what we all experience today, and I think it's because we compare ourselves a lot to others, but both of these two things have been linked to heart disease and other health conditions. These two links may partially explain why volunteering can lead to both mental health that's better and better physical health. They did a study in 2013 and randomly took 100 high school kids. Some were volunteers and some were non-volunteers, as what they labeled them. At the beginning of the study, they looked at their BMI, so their body mass index, and their cholesterol, and they all had the same level of body mass index and cholesterol. Those that were assigned to help other students with after-school activities for 2 months. At the end of the research, they had lower body mass index and lower cholesterol than those who did not help at all. So when they even look at high school kids and they're doing studies on them, it's fascinating to me to say, wow, this is something to help all the way around life, right? Let's talk about working towards a goal as well. Feeling like you're making a contribution to society. It likely increases your sense of purpose in life, which contributes both psychologically and physically to your good health. Now, we also have statistics that show you might even have a longer life. Let's say you have heart disease. It's showing that those who have had heart disease, but they volunteer up to 200 hours in a year, are less likely to die of a heart attack and that heart disease within a 2-year period versus those who do not volunteer. Now, the interesting thing about this is, once again, we talk about balance, not over volunteering to the point where your cup is empty and you're spent and you have no more to give. They have found that just volunteering 1 to 2 hours a week offers the maximum benefits for health. And when we look at life becoming too much, and I can't emphasize this enough as a mom who works at home, always be willing to accept the help because we always want to give. It's just something that we do. We give. But when someone wants to return that, we say, oh, no, we're good. I don't know why, but we do. So if we could learn to receive, that is going to be a blessing on the other person's life who also wants to give, right? Because those endorphins and those things that do increase when we give. Now, there's a great quote, and it's about having a sufficiency mentality. And it's from Thomas S. Monson. He was a prophet of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. He said, we all have experienced times when our focus is on what we lack rather than on our blessings. Said the Greek philosopher Epictetus, he is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. Regardless of our circumstances, each of us has much for which to be grateful if we will but pause and contemplate our blessings. And a lot of times it's just at the end of the day, sitting down, whether it's in the dark room, whether it's on the couch, whether it's in the garage in your car because you need to get away, or just in the closet, in the kitchen, where no one can find you, and just reflecting on the day and trying to find the good and what we've done throughout that day to help our mental and all aspects of our life. Now, when we look at what we do as moms, we have a big job. We're educators. We teach them love. We teach all kinds of things. So what can we do to help kids experience the benefits of giving? One is maybe having an apple, right? You're creating this opportunity for them to give and share. Now, sometimes toddlers don't quite have that development that says, I want to share what I have. But if they have two, we're teaching them the joy of giving and sharing. Because once again, we moms, we have a big job when we're at home. Another thing we could do is maybe creating a giving jar with a supply of pennies next to the jar when someone does something kind for someone. And remember, it doesn't have to be a monetary. It can be any kind of service or physical, anything kind that we do for someone. Every time someone does that, we put a penny or a quarter or whatever kind of change you want to have sitting next to that jar. And at the end of the month, we're going to compile it all together and give it to someone who might need. And it doesn't have to be big. It can be small, but we're teaching them these behaviors while they're young. I have a friend who has just recently picked up drawing and artistry. And I gave her a birthday gift, something simple, but the best thank you card I got in the mail, she just lives 4 houses down, but she mailed it to me, was these cherry blossoms, which is what she was working on, that said, thank you for thinking of me on my birthday. I just gave her some caramel popcorn. It wasn't anything big, but just the thought of that card and receiving it and knowing that it was handmade from her to me. You know how sometimes we can just take a thank you card and maybe throw it in the garbage, but when this thank you card had a little love, a little time put into it, it kind of made it so I don't want to get rid of it. I need to remember that kindness that was shown. And if we teach our children that they can set aside some time each day to draw a picture, say a thank you card for a teacher at school, a mom, a dad, a friend, another parent, but teaching them something simple. It doesn't have to be big, but what they can do. And another thing, when we think of holidays or birthdays, how about maybe giving them an opportunity to give a gift, which I think we kind of do when we give those little goodie bags at the end of the birthday parties to all of those little kids that have come. But maybe it can be something as simple as a balloon. So they're saying, thank you for coming and sharing in this day and this moment with me, but I want to give thanks and give something simple, nothing big, to you for sharing that time. Now, this video I'm going to show, it's a life insurance video. And you're going to go, what? But when you watch the video, the meaning behind it, it just speaks to me. And I've seen it several times. And every time I tear up. But hopefully you can take this video and get the meaning and the purpose out of it like I did. Let me see.
เขาจะได้อะไรถ้าเขาทำแบบนี้ทุกวันเขาจะไม่ได้อะไรเลยไม่ได้รวยขึ้นไม่ได้ออกทีวีไม่มีใครรู้จักไม่ได้มีชื่อเสียงที่มากขึ้นเพราะสิ่งที่เขาได้คือได้แค่ความรู้สึก ความสุขได้เข้าใจได้ความรักได้ในสิ่งที่เงินซื้อไม่ได้ได้โลกที่สวยงามกว่าเดิมในชีวิตคุณอะไรคือสิ่งที่คุณต้องการมากที่สุดให้ประกันชีวิตเชื่อในความดี
I know that's kind of at the very end. I'm like, well, that's the best life insurance commercial I've ever seen, right? And what I love most is you saw the act of giving and you saw the others around kind of judging a little bit in the beginning. And then at the end, the light came on and they saw, wow, look what this little tiny act of service. And not everything was a monetary give, right? There was service. There was just kindness, lifting a cart. There was a monetary giving to the little girl who was saving for school. But we as moms know our children, and we've maybe heard this, is the best way for them to learn is by example. And I think as we go throughout the day, they see what we do in the home, cooking, bathing, cleaning, all of those things, those gifts that we are providing to the family and all that they do. And in turn, even if you don't have a give jar, even if you don't have an apple, even if you don't have them sit down, they are learning from what you do in the home every day. So I hope that each one of you realizes how much you currently are giving just by getting up every morning and doing what you do as a mom, which is one of the most important jobs I think that is out there. Reagan, I am so grateful for the opportunity once again that you've given me to come present, and Jerica, who has asked me to come. There's nothing better than to visit with those moms who are having the largest impact on the world in all that they do. And I appreciate, like I said, every mom, and happy Mother's Day to all of y'all.
Oh, thank you so much. What a fun thing to get to see and hear the things that you've given us. And I just want to encourage our viewers, as we've been hearing all this good information with you, Lisa, everybody take a moment to just write down some key points that stuck out to you personally in order to remember what we learned and put it into practice so that it can then have impact in our lives. We really have to write it down. It's like the first gear here that then leads to other movements. So in order to activate our gears and make those far-reaching positive changes, write it down, make an action plan, and I just, this half hour has gone by so fast, but it is time to end our recording and start our live interaction with our viewers. And if you've watched this as a recording, thank you for watching. Be sure to catch our live show every Saturday at 3 p.m. Pacific time, so you can participate also in the second half hour, where we continue the conversation directly with you, unrecorded. We want to include you in the discussion. That's how Win Win Women TV is unique. We care, we connect, we collaborate.